You're listening to the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast. Remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and click the bell to make sure you get the latest episodes of the podcast. Be sure to like and share our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter and on Instagram. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast. On today's episode of the podcast, we summarise day one of the fourth Ashes Test between Australia and England from the SCG. It's the Dibbly Dobbly Podcast, and let's get started. Let's have a look at the session-by-session breakdown of day one of the fourth Ashes Test from the SCG. Australia won the toss and chose to bat first in the fourth Ashes Test from the SCG. The first session of play was interrupted by rain, and Australia at lunch were none for 30 in an interrupted session. In session number 2, Warner and Harris brought up the 50 partnership for the first wicket, and then David Warner soon departed for 30. Court Crawley bowled broad. Warner and Harris added 51 for the first wicket partnership. Then, yet again, rain stopped play, which brought an early tea, and Australia were 1 for 56 at tea. In the final session of the day's play, rain delayed the start of the last session. Once we resumed, Harris and Labuschagne added 50 runs for the second wicket partnership. Soon after, Harris departed for 38. Court Root bowled Anderson. Harris and Labuschagne added 60 for the second wicket partnership. Then Marnus Labuschagne was the last wicket to fall for Australia on day one. He was out for 28. Court Butler bowled Wood. Yet again, the rain came back and brought the day's play to an end. Australia at stumps are 3 for 126 with Smith 6 not out and Khawaja 4 not out. My thoughts on the day: I thought it was a very frustrating day's play, really, due to the constant rain delays. Both teams would have been frustrated, going on and off the field, trying to reset, refocus after those interruptions and delays. And also the fans as well, who turned out to the SCG to watch day one, and also at home as well. Very frustrating when rain hampers a game of cricket, but that's the way it goes when you play cricket. Obviously, being a outdoor sport, the elements are going to affect the game, but let's hope the rain stays away for the rest of the test match and we get a full test match in and hopefully get a result. But the forecast does have rain for each day of the next few days of this test match. But let's hope the interruptions are minimal and we get a full day's play in for the rest of the test match and also for day two of this test match. Let's talk about both teams and how they performed on day one. We'll start with Australia. I thought Australia batted okay today. I thought batting looked a bit easier on this SCG wicket compared to the MCG. It was very difficult to score runs on. I thought the SCG wicket, given there was grass on it, not as much as it was on the MCG surface, tinge of green grass about it. The ball didn't really swing or seam around much like it did in Melbourne. So it was much easier for batting, and Australia definitely scored runs freely at times during their first innings on day one. I thought David Warner batted very well for his 30. He looked like he was going to get a big score. Unfortunately, he got out to swoop broad yet again in his test career, this time caught by Zach Crawley in the slips. And obviously, Labuschagne looked good for his 28. Obviously, got out to Mark Wood, caught behind by Butler. And then obviously, Marcus Harris got out for 38. Court Root bowled Anderson. Obviously, he was looking pretty good at the crease, carrying on from his innings in Melbourne. So those three batsmen, Warner, Harris and Labuschagne, will be very disappointed that they got starts but didn't get on with the job. But that's the way it goes in cricket sometimes. So they'll be very disappointed that they didn't get on and kick on with their starts. For Australia, they've got Steve Smith and Usman Khawaja, who returns to the side, obviously replacing Travis Head in this fourth test match. They'll be looking to kick on and get some runs for Australia on day two. But overall, I thought Australia's batting today was okay. They had some good partnerships as well. Warner and Harris, 51 for the first wicket partnership, set up Australia well in their second innings. Then Harris and Labuschagne added 60 runs for the second wicket, which was good as well. So two good partnerships there that really set up Australia in this first innings. And hopefully for Australia, that Smith and Khawaja can build a big partnership and get a big score for Australia in this first innings. So overall, Australia's batting okay today. They'll be disappointed that they lost 3 wickets today, but they'll be hoping to kick on and get some runs on day 2, with weather permitting. With England, let's talk about their bowling performance today. I thought England had a reasonable day with the ball. I thought they bowled okay. They took 3 wickets, which was nice on their view. I thought James Anderson bowled well, led from the front again. Stuart Broad bowled okay. Ben Stokes was a bit expensive. Mark Wood bowled well. He bowled rapid pace and got the key wicket of Labuschagne there. And Jack Leach only bowled a couple of overs for 3 runs. Given the conditions, the seamers had bowled majority of the overs on day 1 due to the overhead conditions. Therefore, Root was going more to the seamers than he did to Jack Leach, the spinner. So England, it's been a tough tour for them. Nothing much to smile about, but I thought they bowled okay on day 1. Challenged Australia at times, a lot of plays and misses, and then obviously got the 3 wickets of Warner, Labuschagne and Harris. So overall, it was a pretty good bowling performance from England. What can we expect from both teams headed into day 2? Well, it's pretty straightforward. Let's hope the rain stays away for a start. That'll be the first thing to expect tomorrow. Let's hope we get a full day's play in on day 2. Obviously, the forecast has for rain to fall on each day of the test match, but let's hope the rain stays away and we get a full day's play in on day 2. For Australia, it will be simple, looking to build a few partnerships and looking to try and set a big total in the first innings on day 2. That'll be the plan for Australia, looking to get in, get set. The pitch looks pretty good for batting. Once you get in and get set, it looks pretty easy to score runs on. The ball's not really moving around a lot. So once you get in and get set, it looks pretty good for batting. So Australia will be looking to build a few partnerships, as I said before, and looking to get that big score in the first innings. For England, pretty simple for them. They need to keep sticking at it, keep fighting with the ball, keep putting the ball in the right areas and looking to challenge the Australian batsmen and look to take wickets early on day 2, because this pitch here at the SCG looks pretty good for batting once you get in. So it's going to be hard work ahead for England on day 2 with the ball. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell to get the latest episodes of the podcast, and like and share our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter and on Instagram. Until next time, keep safe and bye for now.